So I can. Okay, great. I'm going to wait a couple more moments here and let people trickle in.
I just want to say congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm still a
You-
little in shock.
I'm not. I've seen how good your school is, but your coaching, and I heard a story about you going on maternity leave and your girls lost the game and you're like, I'm coming back. And I was like, no, is that real? And I never got confirmation. And I was like, that's pretty awesome that if that's what happened.
That's a true story. That's so funny because Ryan was on my staff that year. I found out I was pregnant and that I was going to give birth right near season, right near like playoffs, and I planned on taking a 30-day maternity leave and it lasted like 4 days, and I do not recommend, nor do I celebrate my decisions and my lack of sound mind, but you got to do what you got to do. And we won that year. So that's a true story.
Oh my goodness.
Not
That
recommend. 1 out of 10, do not recommend.
Yeah, I
Everybody.
agree with that, but that's you know what though? That just shows what a great coach you are for how much you care for
Oh,
your team. So
thank you so
it's
much.
I don't am I the only one on the call?
No, there's 60 of us all listening. Me and you reminisce about this,
Oh,
but thank you.
I'll go back on mute. Sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So it's really good to see everybody. I want to get you guys out of here. Just a quick thank you to those of you that have really just been supporting girls volleyball in general. It's not about Sierra or Mater Day or whatever school. There's so many wonderful schools and middle schools playing volleyball right now. So I think the best thing is just let's all just support these women's sports. Let's watch these women's sports and support these kids and these girls. And it's just such a fun, fun time. So thanks for getting out and taking a part of that. Um, I am Stephanie Wigfall. I am one of the owners and founders of City Volleyball Club. I know there are many of you on this call that I'm so familiar with. And the wonderful thing is there's so many on this call that are new to our community and new to our city family. And so I'm really looking forward to getting the opportunity to meet all of you. I definitely tend to show my face a million times more as soon as high school season finishes up here. So in the next couple weeks, I'll be switching gears fully and can't wait to run in and touch base with a lot of you. Leading up to that, my real goal in these first starting weeks of the season is just to really make sure all of you have all of the information that you need. And that's a formidable challenge because there is a lot of information that we need to funnel through to you before we get started, as we're getting started, and as we move through the first few weeks of the season. Um, I actually called the team today, the admin team, and I said, we need to put a pause on some emails for a few days because I felt so badly that we're just blasting everybody's inbox with so many emails. But I promise you that they are necessary. It's important. It's going to help you navigate and have less questions. It's going to make us feel like we're doing a good job by giving you all of the information and tools that you need. Um, I will say I'm guilty of this as well. When I'm receiving all of the millions of emails from Sierra Canyon to my son's school, some of them I read, some of them I don't get around to, some of them I end up finding out the information a different way. But I promise you, what we're finding is that you guys aren't reading these emails. So try to read them. We're sending them, try to read them. I know it's annoying when you're getting a couple a week, but I promise it won't be like this the whole season. But I do just want to make sure that we're being accountable for getting you guys all of the stuff that you need to navigate the season. So apologies for the emails. Um, your order is to read them, read them, read them, and follow up with me if there's anything missing that you feel like you still don't have enough information for, because that is my priority. I want to also introduce Ryan Duncan. He is on the call. He will be picking up on the second half of the call to talk a little bit more about our processes, our philosophies, how we're moving through this season with 14 and unders. So Ryan's on the call. Renee Segura, our administrative assistant, may be joining us. She might be in practice, but she's going to be the one communicating with you a lot of times about logistics, scheduling, things like that. Um, so I'm gonna get right to it and knock the things off my list. The most important piece for today is to make sure that you all feel good about the Sprocket app, that you've downloaded the City Sprocket app, that you understand everything we're going to do is we're going to run through there. All of our calendaring, all of our practice schedules, all of your travel tournaments, everything is always going to be up on Sprocket ahead of time. Our goal is to really keep your practice schedule as consistent as possible. You have your 3 practice days. You get to roll with that the entire season. There are times when we're hosting SC tournaments in city's facility, which is a great opportunity for the club and for the community and for hopefully you, because maybe one time instead of driving to Temecula Valley, you'll get to play right at home at City. But those tournament days do mean that we have to juggle around practice times a little bit, but we have those dates in advance. And so therefore you should have any adjustment on your weekend practice, you should have those times in advance, but there will be a little movement on the weekends because those tournaments run obviously all day. Um, but the Sprocket app is great. Get it on your phone. You can sign up for notifications or not in case there is little notices or little changes in the practice schedule. You guys know how those apps work. They're pretty great about just notifying you so you can keep a track of any adjustments. But the goal is for things to be as consistent and normal as possible because as parents, I know you guys appreciate the consistent schedule. Um, the Sprocket app as well gives you the ability to message your coach, message your team, message another family, message the administration, anything you want. I think we had a little moment this week, Ryan and I, about the team chats. There's so many memes going around on Instagram. I don't know if you guys see them, but they're all completely accurate when it comes to team sports parent chats. Those things can get out of control quick, just the amount of questions flying through and the amount of mom tips and mom questions and dad hacks and dad advice. So just know that if you are feeling lost on a question and your manager can't handle it or answer it, or your coach doesn't have the direct answer, just reach out directly to Ryan and I. We will get you that answer. And on top of that, we will notate that, okay, listen, we've got to do a better job of communicating around this area because we're getting some questions. So the chats are great. They can also be dangerous. Use them wisely, use them positively, and try not to get your team spiraling out in the chat because that stuff happens and it's totally unnecessary. If you have a question, we want to help you right away and try not to spin out other people because I think everybody processes this information and all that stuff at different times. And when they have a chance, they sit down and absorb everything they need for their children's schedules. But the Sprocket app is great. We can log in at any time. Ryan and I, we can see the chats. We can jump in and answer questions. We can do all of that. So that's a good thing. And obviously the calendar. So as of now, you should have all of your practice days up on the calendar. And if you filter through, you'll see all of your tournament travel dates. Some of you are going on one, some of you are going on two travel tournaments, and then an end of season. So you'll see those dates. Um, I know that some of you have already seen these hotel booking link emails coming through to your inbox. Everything with club volleyball is stay and play. And so that means when you're going on these travel tournaments, we are assigned a hotel and we have to meet a certain quota within this hotel in order to participate in this tournament. That's obviously how these tournaments secure these large convention centers and all of the venues that we use when we get to go. So in return, we've got to make sure that we hit our quota for the stay and play. I know you guys are familiar with this probably with other sports if you have kids playing other sports, but I don't know, pros and cons of this system, but it is a system that we have to follow in terms of these tournaments. So even though your tournaments are maybe falling later in the spring, you're going to start to get these booking links and you've got to pay attention to them because they're time sensitive and you have to reserve your room. And all the room reservations are normally refundable, normal hotel cancellation policies, but it's important that you reserve it because if you don't, the rooms will get lost, they'll drop, if you don't book by the deadline, and then your team could be in jeopardy of not, excuse me, not having enough room to meet the tournament and they'll kick you out of the tournament. It's a big deal. So please pay attention to those booking links, book your hotel, reach out to Christy if you have any questions, or some of you have extenuating circumstances, or maybe you're a member at that hotel. All of that stuff we can manage. Just reach out to Christy, but do please pay attention to any email that you see that is directed to your travel or to your hotel booking links. Um, that stuff's going to start trickling in. Um, I think a big part of today's meeting will be a question and answer session that we'll do towards the end. I would love for any new families to stick around and ask any questions or just listen in. I'll record that so I can get a really good idea of the questions that may still be floating around or what's not coming through to email or what can have a better explanation. Uniforms are trickling in. It's always a tight squeeze for us because we don't know the teams until that tryout weekend, and then we've got to turn around those uniforms really quick. So we always make sure that we get them their at least one jersey ready for their first tournament. And then from there, all of their gear will be in the next few weeks. So we're feeling good about that. Um, Right now, I know traffic at City is probably a little crazy as we start out. It's going to get crazier when the older girls go. So just thank you for your patience with that, your ability to follow kind of the flow of traffic. We're getting a little nervous lately about the earlier sundown, kids running in and out from the car to the parking lot to the gym. So just always trying to be as present and locked in as you can when you're moving through the parking lot for the kids' sake, and also just telling your kids to be safe and use the kind of the protocols that we have in place so that that parking lot can remain as controlled and safe as it can. So please don't enter through the front gate. Always go through the back and take your time and all of those good stuff. I know we all have heard about some crazy stuff happening, and it's just been on my mind ever since then. About how accidents can happen if we're all not careful. So obviously keeping the kids safe around city at night, all that stuff I take very seriously. So thanks for your help with that and your support with that. Um, the only little money thing I have to talk about is just the fact that we've got to bill each family for your travel tournaments. Your travel tournaments are what is not covered in your season dues, which covers everything else. Your travel fees are a combination of your coach's flight, hotel, coaching fees, the team's meal fees, which we like the kids to eat together for every tournament. So there's about a $25 food per day fee that we give back to the kids for their team meals, and a couple other expenses just in terms of coach hotel, and a small administration fee is going to go into your travel fees for each tournament. So that's the only other thing that we'll need to reach out to you for as we get all of the travel budgets together. So you will expect to see that in the coming weeks, and just reach out if you have any questions once you do. But we try to be really transparent and clear about what exactly is included in those budgets, and also just traveling as economically as we can. Like we're not, we're picking the most economical flights. We're making good choices for our coaches so they're comfortable, but also economical. It's all those things that go into making the budget. Um, Fundraising opportunities. We had some really cool fundraisers last year. A couple families just reached out to me and said, "Look, Steph, it's getting a little pricey. Can we do a fundraiser?" We always feel like I personally feel like if teams and families and kids want to get together and do something, it could be really positive. This team, it was actually my 12 gold team. They raised a bunch of money. The girls had fun doing it. They put all the money back to their end of the year tournament. They were able to get the girls like swag bags and some gear, and just take a lot of stress off the families and off the club too, because we're definitely covering things in all different areas to make the travel tournaments work out great, extra coaches, or everything we can do to just try and win and try to make a positive experience. So if that's something that your team wants to talk to me about, just please reach out to me. But it's absolutely not a necessity or anything that the club's really going to push. But I never want to turn that down because I think there's a lot of really cool creative ways that we can um, raise funds for the kids to put back into their travel to have a really great trip. So just reach out to me. Um, and then lastly, for me, before I pass on to Ryan, I signed the contract with Huddle yesterday, which means that for age groups 13 and higher, you're going to get some access to some huddle, some live streaming, some basic reports. We didn't do it for the 12-year-olds. We're trying to keep them a little protected from all that as long as we can. Even 13, we feel like is a little young, but the kids love it. They want the clips, they want the highlights. So Anthony's fired up. I already talked to a couple of you guys. You guys love the huddle. I love the huddle. Um, it's a great tool. We did not do it for all of the teams. So if you find that your team's really missing it, they want it, reach out to me. I'll make it happen. I just also, there's a lot of resources within the huddle program that we won't use for like 13 or 14-year-old volleyball, like heat maps and 3D maps and like a lot of high level stuff that we're not going to use at that age. So it's kind of a shame to pay for all that if we're not going to use it, but we are going to use like the video and the basic stats and all that stuff is really great. So reach out if have your manager reach out if it's something that your team is interested in. Otherwise, just keep those cell phones handy and take the highlights there and just have a blast celebrating the kids. I'm so happy that these kids get so many great memories when they were young. I wish we had that back when I was playing and they get a perfectly professionally edited highlight edit of their game, 3 hours after they play. It's pretty phenomenal. I want to pass it on to Ryan. I want you to know that I'm always accessible. I have put a lot of people in place at City this year to just help me be stronger. The team has grown. Ryan and I have brought on just people around us to help us with the management and the day-to-day to just make everything more seamless. Sarah Rex is a chief operator. What's even I can't I'm so tired, guys, from playoffs. She's our COO. That's the best way to say it. She's our COO. She's amazing. She's helping our coaches develop and grow and professionally just be at the top of their game. And we've all been learning so much. She's a strategist and she's just helped us attack our volleyball teams and our training from so many different mindsets, not just one of a coach, which I think is really valuable, but as a business person, as a strategist, as someone that's really invested in growth and development of their own players. So that part's been really good and just a lot of people that have helped me let go a little bit, but also get better. So I'm here. Anything you need, please reach out to me, email, by phone. Ryan's going to tell you not to, that he's got it, but I do promise I'm here. If he can't help you, I'm here and call and reach out at any time. And I just can't wait. You guys, City is growing. We're getting better and better. It's become less about me at the center of this thing after the first couple years and more about like, God, look at this amazing place we've built with all of these incredible coaches and kids and families. So just thank you for trusting us with your incredible daughters this season, and I hope for more seasons to come. All feedback is good feedback. Let me know when we can do better when we're messing up. Let me know when things are going great because those texts are even better and those messages and calls are even better. And remember the big picture through this season. This is all about the kids growing, learning, failing, bouncing back, experiencing success, experiencing failure, and how we can parent and coach them through all that stuff so they come out on top. So thanks. I'm going to pass it on to Ryan. Wish me luck, and I'll talk to you guys all very soon.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, everyone. I'm Ryan. I think most of you probably seen me or met me before. I've been at City pretty much since the beginning. We started during COVID and in a small little gym at Crunch, and now we're at the facility, and it's been amazing. Big part of this year is getting more defined and more on the same page with what the expectations are, and also just what our purpose is when it comes to each team at the club level. And so for us this year, you will see me a lot. I will be at the girls' practices. I will even be at some of the tournaments. These first couple of months, November, December, is going to be a real opportunity for myself and the coaches to really evaluate the girls, see where their strengths and their weaknesses are, and then from there start to put together a plan for each team, and then break it down on a more small level when it comes to each individual player. And so the coaches will then eventually have a plan for each of your daughters to things to work on as far as whether it's communication or it's a specific skill, all that type of stuff. And that stuff will start to roll out in January. But we're going to use the time in November and December here to really evaluate all that type of stuff. We're super excited. I think for me, I have two daughters, and to be in the gym with a bunch of future leaders, it's super exciting to kind of see them grow as volleyball players, but also as young women. And so for this younger age group, we're really focusing on them developing a love for the sport, them developing, understanding the skills that they need to be successful in volleyball, but also understanding how to work with different people from different backgrounds. And so those are kind of the key things that we're going to be working on, especially with the younger age groups, to really improve on and get better. Practices. We are expecting the girls to be at all the practices. If for any reason they are going to be missing, whether it's, hey, you're going to leave early on vacation, or they're playing another sport, or they have debate, or anything like that, please, please, please make sure that you communicate those absences, or if they're going to be late, please communicate those things to the coaches ahead of time, so in that way they can plan practices accordingly. Part of this year is we will be taking attendance, and we will be kind of keeping track of that type of stuff. Sometimes at the end of the season, some people, some of the girls haven't improved as much, and sometimes those absences and that type of stuff really have a big impact. And so we really want to push to try to make sure that we're at all the practices, and then we're communicating to the coaches if we are not able to make it to the practices. The development. I know everyone wants to win a national championship and be, gold medal, all that type of stuff. For us, it's a bigger picture. We're looking at all of the girls and looking at their long-term, growth, and we are looking at from building up a good base, building up the fundamentals of volleyball and everything else that comes along with it, and then from there also incorporating the playing time. For the playing time for these younger age groups, all the kids are going to play at every tournament based off of how the tournament goes, how the games are going, how the girls are performing. The play time will vary, but there will never be a tournament where someone will not play. That is something that we will definitely be mindful of. The coaches are aware of this type of stuff. I would never want to send somebody down at a younger age group to a tournament and have them stand on the sideline all day long. And so just understand that they will play, but based off the skills, based off the games, all certain situations, some may play more than others. Um, we are going to be working on putting together some strength and conditioning for the girls. That won't start until January, but we will send out a schedule with that as far as when they will be doing that, what time, and all that type of stuff. But we're going to save that email for a later date, so it's nothing too crazy to kind of worry about yet. Um, I think that's something that we talk about as far as more emails. We're going to put it to another date. Team rules and all that type of stuff. For us, one, um, when we're at tournaments, we want to try to have the girls not be on their cell phones. We want to have the girls stay together as a team. I always tell my girls, I'm the head coach of the 14 goal team, like, hey, we're always going somewhere together as pairs, whether it's going to the restroom, or they're getting food, or they're going to go watch a friend play. Like, stay together as much as possible as a team. So make sure that those things are incorporated. Everyone's kind of aware of that type of stuff. I know it's a hard thing for the girls to not be on their phones and be on TikTok or whatever, but that's a big thing. If we can get all the girls to kind of put those away and kind of just be there as a team, that would be super helpful. Um, Team culture. Part of what I think we've built here at City is a really, really family environment, a really safe space for all the players and all the parents. And we want to continue that moving forward. Make sure that we are, um, taking ourselves, respectfully into these tournaments. We are cheering. We're not yelling at the refs. We're not yelling at anyone on the court, that type of stuff. Make sure we're doing a good job of supporting the coaches, and the girls as well, and making sure that we're remembering that we're representing more than just ourselves. We're representing the club and the team. And so I just want to make sure that everyone understands we want to keep that reputation up that we have as far as city and the type of people that we have here and the type of kids that we have on the teams. Um, Hydration, injury, all that type of stuff. If there's any kind of question with your daughter, if she gets hit in the head and you do not feel comfortable and she's, gets hurt, please do not hesitate to communicate those type of things to myself or to the coaches. If there's a lot of times things will happen in practice where maybe people will bump and initially it won't be a big deal, and then later on, people, start to show signs of being concussed and that type of stuff. Please, if there's any kind of injuries or stuff, things that happen, please email us, let us know, make sure that we're aware so that way we can be on top of that type of stuff. As the girls kind of move through the club season here, a lot of the girls, it's their first time coming to club and playing and doing this type of stuff in the evening. Please make sure the girls get a snack, have that in their bag in case they haven't had a chance to eat dinner or that type of stuff. Make sure they're staying hydrated, take care of their bodies so that way they can perform the best as possible when they get onto the court. And I think that's pretty much it on my end. Anything else I need to cover here, Steph?
No, I feel good about us, kind of sharing where we're at. I think, like I said, a really big part of that is just really making sure we open it up for questions and it's spend a few minutes here just providing clarity around anything that does not feel that way at this point in the season. And then in knowing that, we're approaching into our first tournaments. We got our 14s are going this weekend for most of them. We've got 11 through 13s going the next weekend. But we've got other teams that are outside of that traditional schedule. So just know that, wait, Steph, you said all 14s are playing this weekend. Well, we have a couple 14s teams that are on a different type of schedule and they may not be playing this weekend. So we're trying to do a really good job just making sure that everybody has their own independent communication plan set up. But for me, the only couple things I want to add before we open it up to questions is, and this just came up during the meeting, your players can have access to Sprocket. You have to go into your profile and allow player login. If you go into your profile and you allow player login, then that means that your daughter can have the Sprocket app on her phone too, and she can see the schedule. I always think it's a really good thing, depending on how you are as a family with your cell phone, with your restrictions and whatnot. It's a really good idea, especially at 14, to get them used to following that calendar, right? Get them used to tracking their own practice dates, get them used to saying, "Oh, I've got a tournament in 2 weekends." And, for them to, because when they get into high school as 15-year-olds, that's going to be a really big part of what they're going to need to do. And they're not going to always be able to rely on mom and dad for their weekly schedule. So get them, if you are good with that, get them used to, understanding what's on the horizon for their schedules, as I'm sure you do for school. And then lastly, you will see that there's a lot of private lessons that are being given at City. People reach out to us all the time and they want private lessons. I'm going to tell you how I feel about private lessons. I don't necessarily give them because I don't remember the last time I gave a private lesson. Maybe if I had more time, I would love to do it. Every coach is different about their private lessons. Some of us are doing it, some of us are don't have the time to do it. Some of us don't like to do it because it causes some difficulty in terms of like playing decisions. But I want you to know that we've thought really critically and about this. So Ryan, I want you to speak on the protocols that we're having there just briefly and what we're going to do, why we've made that decision, and how we're going to deal. But also stressing that privates are not required. Privates are not needed. Privates are a great addition for more reps if your daughter wants them and you feel like that works for your family. But it is just becoming very intense in terms of parents feeling like that's a requirement or that's something that they have to do. And the truth of it is, sure, it's going to help kids so much, but sometimes parents are spending a lot of money with privates and maybe their daughter just isn't developing as quickly as they want to, or whereas another kid is taking no privates and is just naturally athletic. And that sometimes creates some confusion or frustration for parents. So just letting the kids develop at their own pace and pushing them as much as they want to be pushed is the best advice there. But don't feel like, this is something that you've got to take part in. We'll have clinics, we'll have no charge clinics, we'll have pay for time clinics, one-on-ones, all kinds of things that you can take advantage of if that's something that you want to do.
Perfect. That's what I was going to touch base on. Um, For the 14 and younger age groups, we're not going to allow any of the head coaches to train girls on their own team. I think for everyone, this is going to allow any kind of confusion or anything like that that may come up with a head coach training someone on their team as far as playing time or any of that type of stuff. Um, it'll get rid of all of that. And I think honestly, it's something that we talk about at City is that we have an amazing coaching staff, top to bottom, whether it's the head coach or an assistant coach, whether they're gold, blue, silver, navy, royal, whatever. Like we have a great coaching staff, and so that's gonna be part of, especially this year, is getting to just really know that you don't need to train with your coach on your team. That there's other coaches that can train your daughter, and it's going to be a great experience for them. But like Steph said, also that you don't have to do the training. I think sometimes people feel the pressure to do that type of stuff, and I think if we're not allowing to have the head coach train girls on their team, that kind of relieves some of the pressure and stress they may feel as, hey, if someone else is doing that, then I might need to get my kid to play more and that type of stuff. It just relieves all its stress. And then lastly, parent communication as far as like the protocols, all that type of stuff. If you have any questions, we want you to reach out to the coaches. We like for the girls to do that first communication. Obviously, they're a little bit younger, but I think if we can encourage that as much as possible to have the players talk to their coaches, whether before or after practice, have those communications. Obviously, if things aren't getting cleared up or you're not sure, then feel free to reach out to those coaches. If you are not happy or satisfied with that, then that's when I will get involved. Feel free to reach out to me, and we can totally set up a meeting, and I can take care of that type of stuff as well. And then from there, if you're not happy with that, then that's when we can set something up, and Steph will be happy to get involved. But you know, for me, my role is to try to keep as much as I can off of Steph's desk. She's got a ton of things that she's working on, and so if you need anything, please reach out to me. I like to make myself available as much as possible. So any kind of questions, concerns with anything, I'm the person you need to reach out to.
Thank you, Ryan. And just a note on conversation and we want to do this with you guys. We really do. That's when it works the best is when we're feeling like parents are on our side. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have questions or issues or challenges, but like we want to do this with you guys. That's my biggest thing. Whenever I get a call, like know that you're even if you're calling me to complain or anything, know that we're together in this. Like your kid's here and you're stuck here for this season, I say lovingly, so we gotta, and hopefully for further years. So we gotta work together and do this all together. So always know that you're gonna be met with that same energy. And then lastly, just anytime we're having conversations about our kids, about sports, about emotional, intense aspects, give yourself time before you have the conversation. It benefits the coach, it benefits your child, it benefits you. Something that you may be really upset or fired up by at the end of a tournament, you may not be thinking about on Tuesday, and your kid may already be back in practice, having a great week, already getting back in there where she needs to be, and we can move past that and just understand that that's part of a club season. A kid being upset after a tournament or a parent being frustrated with coaches' decisions, like all that stuff, we can't get rid of that for you. What we can is create a culture where like, okay, we're dealing with that. This is not an easy thing, whether you're 12 or 18. Let's deal with it. Let's move forward, but let's be on the same page working together for the kids because we are limiting them if we're not. So thank you. I want to open it up to questions. And everybody who's ready to go, hop off now if you need to. I think we did pretty good, 35 minutes. Please stay on and ask any question that you have, and I think it will benefit others that may have questions. So you can use the hand raise feature, or you can just maybe chime in. I don't know, that might be dangerous, but unmute yourself and I'll try to call on some people and answer any question that you have.
Hi, Steph. This is Layla and Nibra. We're new to City.
Hi.
Hi.
I feel like I have like my own, like it's like a little podcast or a hotline. Go, shoot away. Good to talk with you guys. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you. It is so much fun to watch girls play with unity and joy and freedom. and we are at City because of the culture. So I'm wondering how you have, um, you know, how you're expecting sort of the different teams to have both the city culture and sort of what the coaches themselves want to build and what the expectations are around, just that feeling of playing free and happy and together and supporting each other and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think that really starts with what we've been building on, and even taking a bigger investment in that this year is just making sure that our coaching staff is aligned, and our club is not just a bunch of individuals that we hire because they're available and they say they've coached before, but no, they actually align with how we want to coach, how we want to develop, being on the same page. And we're always working really collaboratively at City. That's my favorite thing about it. You might think that coaches that have been doing this for a long time, they think they have all the answers. I want young coaches around me so much. I want the youngest coaches around me. I want the oldest coaches around me. I want everybody's experiences. So I think getting us coaches aligned, having priorities on what we're trying to accomplish on each team, like there are things on each team that need to be across the board, like you're talking about, no matter the age or the level. So that's it. It's our culture. It's making sure coaches are aligned and educated and given the tools to create the culture that we want. We call our coaches culture carriers. It starts from us. We're creating it. They're trying to carry it through to their players and their families, and you parents are doing the same. And it's honestly, we've been doing a really great job. So even your question just shows me we're in the right direction, because we want to be fearless and we want to win and be killers on the court, but we also want to just instill joy and passion and fun. Obviously, good to remind myself too of why we're playing this sport. So yeah, it starts with us coaches being aligned. Shiva is raising her hand. Hi, Shiva. Let me unmute you. She may not have a question anymore. Anybody else have a question?
No, I do. Can you
Oh,
hear
you do.
me?
There you are.
Yes.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to rush
Sorry.
you.
No, so I have a question. Picking on what Ryan said about coaches watching the girls play in November and December and like come up with a plan of where they need to improve and whatnot. Unfortunately, my daughter got injured. I think it was like the second or third practice. She got concussion, and so she won't be at practice. And I wanted to see how that would impact her, like getting evaluated and like getting up to speed with the team. Is like any suggestion that you guys would have in regards of us bringing her back to when she's ready to come back, of course.
Yeah, I'll let Ryan speak on it too, but I think anytime with injury, there's just like that little challenge of missing a little bit of time or missing out on some reps. I think the first thing with a concussion is making sure she's cleared to get back in the gym. And then when she is cleared to get back in the gym, even when the kids are injured, we still really want them to be at practice. If you sprained your thumb or you sprained your ankle, like unless you're given doctor's orders to be off your feet, like it's important for the kids to still be there. They can help the coach, they can be around, they can listen, they can really have to stay connected. And then in terms of the volleyball side of it, it's just really, she's just gonna need to get in there and get going when she feels good. And we have to deal as coaches with injuries all the time, and it's crazy because sometimes it'll happen when athletes at the peak of they've been playing amazing, or sometimes it'll happen, when they haven't been playing great and now they're gonna come back. So I think we do a really good job of just meeting the athlete where they are right when they come back. But an injury is an injury; it'll throw you off a little bit. But it's good for them to learn too that this stuff's gonna happen. Concussions in volleyball, unfortunately, are a real thing, and you can miss anywhere from a few days to a couple weeks. And we're equipped to just make sure that the kids are up to speed right when they get back. But in the meantime, just still being around the team and the gym and the coaching as much as she can. So she's at least not missing what is being taught and discussed in practice, rotations, all those things. There's a lot that goes into the beginning of the season with the new team, trying to learn. And you guys have to tell me, because I'm very tempted to do like a parent education class, because when you talk about all the rules and rotations and things that these kids have to learn in the next 2 weeks and get out there on the court, and you guys are like, oh my God, I don't even, this doesn't look like a volleyball team. It's like, yeah, we know. It's because their brains are processing so many things in the moment that, and not processing in the moment, that it creates a very interesting first few tournaments. So,
No, I completely agree. When like I think it
yeah.
was like 2 years ago when she torn her ligament. So she went
Yeah.
to every practice, she went to every tournament, but because of her concussion and her doctor's order, she unfortunately won't be able to go. And she's been fighting us to go
I know
support
they
her
get
team
so
this
bad.
tournament, but we're holding her back. But so I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure, like, the evaluation part and all that stuff, how would that
Yeah, no, we'll meet her right when she gets in the gym. She'll be taken care of. Just keep her encouraged. Don't let her worry about any of that. I mean, we're not gonna miss a beat. She's just gonna get out there and we're gonna meet her right where she is. And so that evaluation, that stuff is ongoing. And I think Ryan just means like the coaches are starting to learn their teams, learn their personnel, learn their people. And it's a bummer just for the injury, but we got her. Don't worry about that. The coach will take
Okay,
care of
perfect. Thank you.
it. Yeah, of course. Isabel. And then I'll ask Anne.
I'm unmuting. Sorry, I'm new to City. Happy to be here, and it seems like a really great culture. I've had a very positive experience so far. I wanted to just let you know, Sprocket was working great until the other day, and then it deleted one out of the three practices, and then it deleted two out of the three practices. And then I tried unsubscribing, subscribing again, and then I found out I wasn't the only one having that problem. So
Hmm.
I wanted to bring it to your attention
Okay,
so that
thank you.
something on your end, I don't know, but everything's showing up in the app. It's just when we're subscribing to the calendar, and it was all in there before, and then it just started magically disappearing. So I don't know,
Okay.
but I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
I have nightmares about this at night, these tech nightmares. So thank you for telling me. I'll reach out to Sprocket and I'll do some troubleshooting tomorrow. Isabel, tell me the team
Thank
real
you.
quick. I mean, obviously I'll look it up, but tell me the team.
It's 13 silvers.
Okay. Okay, I'll figure that out. Thank you, thank you, thank
No
you.
problem.
Okay. Anne, did you have a
Hi,
question?
you guys. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Thank you guys so much for doing this. And I just jumped on. I just landed in New Jersey for a job, so I'm looking forward to hearing the recorded version. But I just wanted to say thank you, Stephanie, for all that you're saying right now. Like, we're new to City, and we've known about City for the last few years, but it was just the appropriate time for us to jump in. I'm Skylar and Raina Hicks' mom. And I was a basketball player. I played in France and Spain after high school, and I played on a championship squad in high school. And listening to you talk is like, oh, my babies are in good hands. So I just wanted to say thank you. And also, I'm feeling a little bit nervous because I'm so new to the program and just new to all of it. So I just wanted to say, please have patience with me if I miss anything. And I'm looking forward to what's coming up.
Thank you so much. That's the coolest little message to receive. I appreciate it. I recently signed up my 5-year-old for his first season of Little League baseball, and I'm being like bombarded with all these emails, and I'm all nervous because I don't know one thing about baseball. Luckily, my husband does, but so I can understand like just the nervousness and the excitement behind your kids entering a new community and a new program because I'm going through the same thing and it's like fascinating, just trying to learn and get all the information you can at once and not miss this or miss that. So I just appreciate it. And, I just, we're so human here at City. Like we're striving to really be great, but we miss the mark all the time because we're coaches and we're learning. And we just really appreciate you guys. Like I said, the good feedback, the not so great feedback, all of it makes us better. That's my goal.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and basketball was my sport. Volleyball is not my sport, but you're exactly right. We're all doing our best to hit the mark,
Yeah.
for these kids, and we'll
100%.
continue to do our best. So thank you.
Perfect. Good to talk to you, Anne. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? And I will make sure that we get this sent out. All right. Are we sure? Because those chats have been going crazy. Hopefully we're good. I think the chats are just sometimes like fun too. Just get in there and get to know your team parents, which is in itself could be its own reality show. But you guys are going to be great. I don't know. It's pretty quiet, Ryan.
I do have one question.
Hi, Nisa. Yeah, sure.
Sorry. So
No,
one
don't
with
be.
the same with 14 Royal. I did have also some of the practices. It was random days that just dropped off.
Okay, so
Again,
let me
yeah.
talk about that. Let me mention one thing, and I wonder if this is happening. we put all the practices on the calendar for the entire season, but say you are traveling and your normal practice day is a Tuesday, but you're getting home from a qualifier on a Monday. Your flight lands on Monday. Your Tuesday practice would then be canceled. So I'm wondering if it's like things getting deleted off the calendar that are supposed to be deleted off the calendar, like days that you're off or days that you have a tournament. It's not that we're talking about, right? Is it like I'll
No,
No.
it's
okay.
next week's practices
Okay.
and
Okay, got
the
it.
week after.
Y-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the practice on Tuesday that just passed, it's on Sprocket for 14 Royal, but it when I synced my count to go on my calendar, it didn't sync. So I actually had manually put it in just so that it's
Got
on our
it.
family
Okay.
calendar. So
Okay.
I just the Sprocket one comes around. I coded it as red. So anything red is volleyball related,
Yeah.
and so it just and like I said, it's not consistent. It's a day here this month, and a day in December, and
Sure.
whatnot.
Okay.
Um,
I'll look into
I
it. I'll troubleshoot
okay.
that and investigate. Maybe we're tagging it different or something, but I'll
No,
figure that out. And I'm sorry about that. You guys will
no.
figure it out.
So my actual question kind of falls on with the one-on-ones with the coaches. So my daughter Maddie, we're new to city. We had met our coach through a lot of the clinics that you hosted
Mm-hmm.
over the last 2 years. And so we kind of got to know the coach that we've done our one-on-ones with. It just so happens now her one-on-one coach happens to be her coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of a consistency thing that where that coach is kind of like seen where she has been in the one-on-one aspect. So I'm just wondering if there's a little bit of leeway, or if this is gonna if maybe some considerations could be made. I don't want to just say, well, please do this for us. It's got to be across the board. So I completely understand, but I also bring
Yeah.
it up. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you can, thank you for understanding. There's definitely not, we're trying to avoid conflict of interest here, of course, as much as we can. So then allowing it for certain kids and not for others would be, there's no way that I could move into that route of it all. What I will say is that she's still going to be seeing that coach, 6 hours a week, which is a great thing. It's going to open the door for her to be able to connect with some other coaches in the club if she wants. And it's also, 6 or 7 months. So as soon as the summer, she can start training with her coach again if she wanted to. But yeah, no, unfortunately, the one-on-one, that coach won't be able to train her for the in-season time. But I'm encouraged by the fact that that coach is still going to be working with her, on a very, very consistent basis.
yeah, we're very excited about that too. And I
Yeah, and
completely
sometimes,
understand.
yeah, and I've gotten that. It's really interesting because I've gotten that call a few times the last few weeks of, which is such a great thing because parents are saying, look, my daughter loves this coach. Like she's really found a connection with him or her. She's getting better. She's enjoying it. Like those things are really important. I also just want to encourage you to also, as parents, put your kids in situations where they have to, continuously work with different adults and different people, right? Because there's going to be a situation where they're with a coach where they don't connect with as much. There's kids on my varsity team that I have amazing relationships with, some that we're still working on it because maybe we just don't click as easily or whatnot, but we have to work on it. So those things are good. It's good for them to have to work on relationships with adults because that is the number one thing as a coach that I'm seeing is hard for these kids right now. They can't text us. They can't, send me a DM or send me a TikTok. Like they have to physically sit in front of me and build a relationship with me. That's hard for these kids. So encourage your kids to be doing this with the adults that you trust around you because they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time with that adult kid interaction, some of them.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you saying that too. And I'm just glad that she's got a great relationship with that coach. That's the best part. Okay. Well, Ryan, I think we did a pretty good job. We need to make sure you guys know to reach out to us for any other question. I'll get the scheduling stuff figured out. Um, I think that's all we got for you guys right now. Travel, this part of the season is going to be a little bit nice, And then all of a sudden, boom, travel season will hit us and things are going to just speed up and be really fast and exciting and fun. So as parents too, find your ways to have fun through all of this on our trips, look ahead, plan for, just some great memory and bonding with your family, with your daughter, and let's go win some volleyball games and lose. We got to lose too. We got to learn how to win and learn how to lose. So it's all good. All right, I'm out of here. I got to get to bed. Please reach out if you guys have any other questions. Ryan, you're the best. City, you guys are all incredible. Thank you for allowing me to live my dream as a club director in life. All right. Bye,
Well,
guys. I'm waiting for all the hearts. People are giving hearts, so I'm just getting them all. You guys are awesome. Thank you.